Cool. How's the hand? Right. Okay. Listen, mate. We've decided to go up to Khao Lak today to go and see if we can find out anything up there. Check up on the pictures outside the morgues and things. To see if we can track it down up there. What I need to know from you is where exactly were you guys staying?
There was a chance of news in Khao Lak, but it was probably going to be bad. Khao Lak was one of the worst hit places on the island. Many people died in Khao Lak. Notice boards elsewhere showed the tsunami's victims as their families remembered them, happy, alive. Outside Khao Lak mortuary, the pictures were of dead bodies. The best news anyone could get here was that they'd found someone to bury.
It's just so many people. On because we're right next to where they're storing the bodies at the moment. They're storing them into these containers, I presume. They're inside wooden coffins, which you can actually see just over there. They're building the coffins as we speak, and I guess they're putting the bodies into storage. This seems to be where they're actually processing them, and then storing them in these containers. So we're going to go over and have a look at these photos now.
He didn't find Chia's body, but that only deepened his belief that she couldn't have survived. Fergus prepared himself to tell his brother.
I feel fairly despondent because we've had no real luck, but then there's just so many people in the same situation that we're in, looking at who are finding it impossible to find anyone. The fact that the bodies are so decomposed and that you can't identify them in that manner is a big problem. I hadn't realised until we got up here today and drove past the severity of what really happened here. I mean, when you look round, you see that even a half a kilometre up to a kilometre inland, there's total devastation.
The waves killed people from Indonesia in the east to the coast of Africa 4,000 miles away. This week, the UN's relief coordinator warned that the number of dead could still rise dramatically.
It's a miracle that anyone survived it, really. One thing I'd probably know is that she was killed instantly. I'll tell him exactly what's happened down here. I'll tell him the truth. You want to know the truth, and that's what I'll tell him. I mean that there's utter devastation down here, which he will know. That it may take a long time to find out what really happened to Chia. He already knows that it's very likely. He already knows that. So I don't need to tell him that.
Back at Phuket International Hospital, Trevor was going through the names of every patient there, still trying to work out who was alive and who was dead.
We need to get this down. Can you go through that list?
Yes.
Look at the names that have been written in Thai and tell me if any of them are Westerners. There's one. We assumed that all the names in Thai script were Thai people, naturally. So Pom's just sat down, this is 3 days later, and I just said, can you just look through there and make sure all the names that are written in Thai script are Thai people? Within four lines he'd come up with Jennifer someone or other from the Netherlands. So now he's going to go through all the Thai scripts, which is a fairly boring job because there's thousands of names, and just take out names, so that at least we know they're alive. I mean, I can't criticise anybody. We're in Thailand, and who knows who was the nurse who admitted that guy on the first day, remember, when the Thai staff themselves didn't know whether their families had been wiped out. I mean, you just get the name down any way you can on that first day, and that's when most people were admitted, on that first kind of hour. We got 2 names already. Cheers, Pom. This is where it's really starting. Everything else before was the administration of injuries and the treatment of injuries, and support of people who have got people missing, who were our patients already. What we're getting today is all the people who've, you know, they're hopeless, or they've got a little bit of hope left, and that's going to be the next 3 days. That's just going to get bigger. Let me put this down.
Carol, the counsellor appointed by the Foreign Office, is looking for British patients in other hospitals.
Okay, I've just seen Rita and John, a couple who were in Khao Lak, and Rita was telling me that if they'd stayed in their hotel room, they would have been safe, because their hotel room, amazingly enough, was intact. They were caught up in the whole thing because they decided to go for a walk on the beach, and they were separated by the force of the wave.
Water started rising, all the trees and things started coming, and then I was just up again. I was underwater, I didn't know where I was. Next thing is that I came up again, and went back down again because the waves kept knocking me down. And then finally I just managed to grab hold of the tree, where I just tried to hold on to it while the water subsided.
Kept pushing me down to the water, under the water, and I had to keep swimming up, and that was exhausting. That was very exhausting. I was going to die at that point.
You know, a lot of people screaming and crying, but you know, there's a lot of people lying dead beside me beside the other trees.
And they only met together yesterday. They were taken to different hospitals, and they were only brought together yesterday here. John didn't know that Rita was alive until yesterday. I think the real shock and trauma will come afterwards.
Time was wearing down even the people who tried hardest to stay optimistic, like 2-year-old Ragnar's father, Anders. He was relying more and more on Trevor as they waited together for news.
But there's a sea change in the way that he's talking about what's happened to him today. He's now much more prepared for the fact that his son's dead and he's not going to find him. And it's beginning, today he started to talk about that. Talking about memories of his son. He said, he's telling me about the kid today, you know, he said, everybody who knows him, and we will all say this about our children, everyone who knows him says he's a special kid. When we take him to the kindergarten every day, the first thing he does is hugs every single child as he walks in. You know, and he said maybe he was just too perfect to be in this world. And his wife said the same thing to him before the kid was dead. His wife had always said, he's too special. He's an unusual child. And we all think that about our kids, don't we? So, all of this will come across to some people as complete schmaltz. It's not. It's the language of grief. It's the language of how people express themselves. And it's the language that describes how we cope, how we survive. We're compelled to survive. It's not up to us. We have no choice. We're still alive. And how we do it is, if anyone judges it, fairly worthless people. You know? And that record, the Eric Clapton, you know, Tears in Heaven, I've always hated hearing it, you know, because I know it's been played at so many funerals for children and blah, blah, blah. I hate it. But at a time like this, you understand, you can't judge that. It's how people find comfort. So, that's the currency of disaster for the survivors, is comfort. That's what you need to be giving out.
Beyond the door, there's peace, I'm sure, and I know there'll be no more tears in heaven.
At her home, on high ground, Carol hears from Donna, a British doctor who's been helping with medical evacuations.
All right, I'll see you then. See you later, Donna. Donna's really quite upset. Now, so am I. Just wait a minute. I think what she's saying is that there doesn't seem to be any support coming from the UK. Still not again today, and it's the 5th day, and other countries have got paramedic teams coming in, taking over from the Thai medical teams who are completely swamped, obviously, and getting their people medevaced out, especially people who've got quite severe injuries, because if they don't get really good and prompt attention, these injuries will never heal properly.
Donna, the doctor, is frantic.
I am.
I know you are.
I can't do any more. I've done this today and I've done everything as a doctor, right?
I'm a nurse. I'm a British nurse.
Well, where are all the paramedics? I'm supposed to be working with the embassy and I have them since Sunday and I've had no luck.
Right.
And every night they send a written report or they type out their report.
Right.
You've seen other countries. Where are, you know, for some of the countries.
Compared to lots of countries. I believe that you've done everything that you think is right. And to the limit of your medical skills.
It hasn't made any difference.
You want to see Archer?
Pardon?
You want to see Archer?
I know.
You know, the British doctor has become a victim. And I understand that she's got very high professional standards. I worked in the NHS myself. Her argument seems to be about quality of care, and we're not in a quality of care situation. We're in a emergency management situation. And so the standards that she's expecting are never ever going to be met in a crisis situation like this. And so I got a call that she's on a mission now to go around the media to, you know, say what the bloody hell are the British government doing. The British embassy here has been the best out of the lot. They've been outstanding given the circumstances. I think that she's just maxed out. She's just not coping herself. And I don't know what support she's got here. I think she's been on her own. So, and I think she's rubbed people up the wrong way, and therefore she's not finding any support, and she's not having any success. The poor woman's probably not had a result since she arrived, you know, so.
It's New Year's Eve.
I don't know who that's from. Happy New Year, make money. Happy New Year, many money and take care of yourself. Anonymous. Okay, I will.
Around the world, the old year was going out so tragically that the usual celebrations were toned down. In some places, they were replaced by solemnity and remembrance. But in Phuket, Trevor and the other volunteers decide to have a party.
It is, quite literally, old music o'clock all night. Contribution to the Tsunami Fund. We're selling some candles, lucky candles. They've been blessed by monks and many other things.
All of them want to let off some steam.
Yeah, a lot of people have asked whether it's right that we have the New Year's party tonight. With several possible answers. We've deserved it. And I don't think it will feel like a New Year's Eve party. I think we all need to get absolutely pushed.
To 12. At 5 to 12, there will be a minute's silence outside. Every restaurant and every bar in this whole area is complying. It's the only minute that you have to think about what's happened to us this week. Everybody outside the pub now, if you're still in the pub, why?